Guys, welcome. It is 7:02, 38% room humidity, 24 degrees Celsius here at the SUPERNEAT headquarters, based in Flumbo, North Carolina. We, of course, are drinking AHA sparkling water. What's your AHA moment? A can of Cool You Down. Don't hire interns to be copywriters. What's your AHA moment? Guys, this is the SUPERNEAT podcast. I think this is episode 12. You guys hear me all right? Everything sound good? That I find hard to believe. I'm going to even fact check it on my own YouTube. Is that right? Are we on 12 weeks? 12 weeks, people? Yep. Hard to believe. Hard to believe. But here we are. Big shout out to the 2 people that are joining us live. We appreciate you here at the SUPERNEAT team. And, you guys get it first. And then the millions of others that watch the SUPERNEAT podcast, the only podcast on the internet, have to unfortunately see it later. But, that's the perks. So, what are we going to do today, guys? Hi, SUPERNEAT. Hi, Seaweed Kid. What do you guys want to do? It is the SUPERNEAT podcast. We can do whatever we want. The lighting is still... I just need stands is what I really need. But it will have to do. Okay. So let's get down to business. Let's try this. Oh! There we go. The white balance can compensate a little better that way. Beautiful. So guys, we're gonna do some of the standard SUPERNEAT stuff. Hopefully our good friend Hulkbuster Unit 69 will join us as we do a recap of last week and how we did on our goal sheet. We did get some criticism last week about basically just doing my work that I need to do on stream and calling it content. And to the haters, I say, listen, I'm doing my best here, okay? So we'll keep the next week planning brief. We may do it off cam actually, if all parties are willing. So that's that. I actually think later after this stream, I'm gonna just hit stop recording and then immediately hit start, and we are gonna go and I'm gonna finish up this edit that I've been working on, and I think we'll do it live together because I really wanted to get it out before the end of the week, and I didn't get to, but I think we can. It's great. I'm a big fan of it personally. I think it's gonna be great. I think it's gonna be a great edit. So that is that. Oh, I missed some of the only podcasts on the internet. It's all right. I did a bad job of tweeting it all out today. So we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it live. Fuck it, we'll do it live. We are live now. Twitch.tv. Tweet. Gotta love Tweeter. It just goes out to the millions of fans. We're here now. Hulkbuster Unit G69. Thanks for joining me. I actually talked about you just a second ago, so but you'll never know. Okay, so let's jump right into it. I think we're gonna do some news, guys. First off, Biden won the United States presidential election 2020. Can you believe that? That is great news for those of us who enjoy freedom and democracy. And if you don't enjoy that, it is what it is, I guess. I'm not gonna. So, that's the deal, guys. Joe Biden won. What a treat, I think. I think that's amazing. So I hope you guys do too. But we're going to go ahead and check the news anyway, because you know what? Some wild shit is likely happening, as the news likes to produce garbage. Google News. We'll see. Not my president. They cheated for sure. Okay. Let's jump right into it with the lovely Logicam technology. That's Twitter. Ah, our second source doesn't seem to be working. Interesting. There it is. Just needed a quick reboot. Okay, guys, let's check. Oh, look, I had it perfect, and then I fudged it. There it is. Beautiful. Okay, let's turn off this music. Let's get into the news. It is 7:08, super neat time here at the Super Neat headquarters, based in Flumbo, Alabama. 39 degrees, percent room humidity, 24 degrees Celsius. It's a little steamy in here. It's been hot in Flumbo. We don't have air conditioning, but that is the way it goes. All right. Biden plans executive actions that would undo Trump's policies. Big shocker. That's a surprise to me. How about you, folks? Just kidding. That seems to be how the United States works nowadays, is we have a dude in there for 4 years, and then the next dude comes in, it hits Control-Alt-Delete and shut down, and then it happens again and again and again. So, cool. Good work, Biden. Do it. I hope that Biden abolishes the Electoral College. That's the only thing I want him to do, to be honest. I think that's the beginning of solving a lot of problems. Not to get political. We don't do politics here on the Super Neat podcast. I can just say that and then do whatever I want. It's the beauty. I run this podcast. Jared Kushner, Melania Trump advises Trump to accept election loss. We'll see. Blah, blah, blah. Joe Biden's time to heal. Okay, great. Joe Biden won. We got that covered. Earthquakes off of Massachusetts? Maybe hell is opening up to swallow our previous president. Governor SD. San Diego? What's SD stand for? Governor spars with George Stephanopoulos over voter fraud claims. Okay. Gosh, it's all Biden stuff. For Biden fans, old glory. Biden inherits COVID-19 pandemic as daily record broken for 4th straight day. I mean, I guess, but here's the deal, right? Don't we have to wait till like January or February before Biden can actually do stuff? I mean, right? I don't really know how any of this works. So it seems weird to be like, take it. Stacey Abrams helps raise $3.6 million in 2 days for crucial Georgia Senate runoffs. I'm so glad that Georgia is going out there and blowing it up. What is this? Gamers Nexus. Here we go. Now for you. Gamers Nexus is great. They're great. A big shout out to the 6 of us here at the Super Neat podcast, the only podcast on the internet brought to you by AHA Sparkling Water. What's your AHA moment? AMD Ryzen 4 versus 2 sticks of RAM on the R5 5600X for 10% better performance. You want that dual channel RAM, and you want it running twice. Quad. Guys, more RAM is better. Ryzen's platform is really dependent on memory. But memory is cheap these days, and it's well worth it. So the money you save on a Ryzen processor, you could probably spend that on a little better RAM, and you're going to get even more performance. The bang for your buck is incredible. Incredible. Just do it. Just do it. It's so great. I'm excited to build a new computer, even though mine's doing just fine. Great, I would say. Even though this is a little laggy. We'll see. Biden plans immediate flurry. For what? We got over the Biden stuff. We're back. Flurry of executive orders to reverse Trump policies. Good. SNL cold open. Jim Carrey finally bust out his bass Ace Ventura. Love you, Jim. I'm glad you're back among the sane. I mean, I guess you'll always be insane a little bit, but you're more sane nowadays. I enjoy that. A rollicking New York City. They've been waiting so long to use that word. Celebration for Biden's win well into the night. That is true. Oh, my God. Everyone in the chat, please put your aha moment in, and we're going to read them all out. We're going to wait. We're going to wait a second. TikTokers post videos of themselves appearing to troll Trump voter fraud hotline. Good work, Gen Z, you fucking maniacs. Indian Americans celebrate Vice President-elect Kamala Harris. Great. She's the first female vice president ever. That's good news. Very good news. And she's African American and South Asian or something like that. I don't know what it's supposed to be, but all good. Very good. Way to go. And I hope she Trojan horses this shit. I hope not. I don't hope. But Biden is extremely old. And if we had President Kamala, I would be into that. Just saying. But we don't do politics here, so. Okay, we're gonna read a couple aha moments because this is my. We'll do the full thing. My aha moment was the first time I peed in the sink. What's your aha moment? My aha moment was learning my wife and daughter were killed in a car accident. I'll never drink and drive again. What's your aha moment? God damn. My aha moment was when I realized I have to be choked to come. What's your aha moment? My aha moment was during my third vasectomy. Third time's a charm. Like I was during. Here we go. My aha moment was when sorry, that now one popped in right when I did it. Here we go. My aha moment was coming to terms with my CBD diagnosis. What's your aha moment? CBD is treatable. Uncurable, but treatable. My aha moment was when I realized my dad wasn't coming back after he left to go get cigarettes 7 years ago. What's your aha moment? Okay, Chappie's at my place if you want to talk to him. Guys, great. Great aha moments all around. Ooh. All right. Let's get down to business. What's next for Trump? Family business awaits his return. Probably bankruptcy, chapter 12. Is that right? Chapter 11? What's the chapter for bankruptcy? Don't know. More than 800 held. Oh. Crush the fascist vermin. Wow, that's a lot of stuff going on over here. Guys, I don't know if we're going to do any more of the news. I think we've got it. Oh, man, the coronavirus discovered among mink population. The minks got it? Interesting. Huh, I wonder what that means. What that minks. Can a mink... what animals can get coronavirus? I know people are worried about being on dogs' hairs and such. But the minks have it? They have a little cough? How do they know? Do they put the little tube up the mink's little snoot? Interesting. More coats need to be made. Interesting. Minks have coronavirus. Who the fuck figured that out? That's brilliant work. I forgot that my little super neat guy has been down there in the corner just going ham. We're just going to let him go ham. He's not bothering nobody. What up? That guy pays dividends. Okay. Let's get down to business. COVID rates continue to rise. Doi. Jesus. Pickup truck hits woman in New York City, possibly severs leg. Jeez Louise. All right, one last piece of news. Let's do technology. This is the phenomenal headline. Hands-on, Train Sim World 2 is transformed by PS5 backwards compatibility. What the fuck could that mean? What? Jar Jar Minks. Misa have the COVID. Hands-on, Train Sim World 2 is transformed. How... Train Sim World is a great name for a train simulator, which is hilarious. And it's transformed somehow by PS5 backwards compatibility. What does that mean? Transformed. I don't understand. I don't. Transformed. Hold on, I'm going to save this project and exit. I'm seeming to get some lag somewhere. Maybe I do need a computer. I don't know. I don't know how that makes any sense, but I love the headline. I love it. Oh, rest in peace, Alex Trebek. I did read that today. What a legend. At 80. Geez, he should have ran for president, and then he becomes immortal like the rest of these bastards. Dang, Alex Trebek. Shout out to the realest, man. That guy's a legend. Sean Connery, Alex Trebek. What's happening? Am I next? All of the greats. See, I just looped myself in there with those two fucking dudes. All right. Kate Middleton makes a surprise appearance at Remembrance Day service in London. Good work, Kate. I don't know about any of that or who you are or what that means. I don't really care. Yeah, all this is... Ooh. Man, the new SpaceX costumes look great. Spacesuits. It's all a costume. We're all in costume. All day, every day. Great. We're done with that. We had a good time. That is amazing to me. There's so much great news that happened. The minks. Can you believe it? I think I've got the black lung, Pop. My aha moment was pounding that guy's dad. The mink team's got it. Are your minks dying of COVID? The mink team's got it. We've got a special experimental mink. Pharmaceutical. What can they do about the minks? I don't know. What can they do? You put a mink on a little ventilator? What do you do with a mink with COVID? What do you do? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? What the hell can they possibly do? That's very interesting to me. But you know what's also interesting is moving these little Carmens around. What fun this is for some reason. I'm a little distracted. Here we go. We're going back to whatever it is that we do on this podcast these days. It's gotten so banana pancakes as of late. I don't know what happens. We might just throw in our guest early. 7:22 at the SUPERNEAT headquarters. It is 40% room humidity. It's going up, climbing, because I closed the window. 25 degrees Celsius. This is the only podcast on the internet. All brought to you by AHA Sparkling Water. What's your AHA moment? The mink team's got him. Alex Trebek destroys Nerdcore girl. Dude, Alex Trebek. I wouldn't fuck with him. Okay, guys. Let's get down to business. Get down to business. We are going to discuss a little bit of what went right and what went wrong with last week's content schedule, briefly. Let's pull it up. Let's get down to business to defeat the Minks. Okay, wait. We're gonna do a temporary timeout. We're actually gonna Google this. We're gonna watch it live. Alex Trebek destroys. You gotta love when they use that. Destroys nerd girl. Uh-oh.
I think it's very fun.
Okay, whoa. Let's get down to business. Oh, there's my little camera. All right.
I think it's very fun. It's called Nerdcore Hip-Hop. It's
Nerdcore Hip-Hop.
Yes. It's people who identify as nerdy, rapping about the things they love, video games, science fiction, having a hard time meeting romantic partners, you know. It's really catchy and fun.
Losers, in other words.
Well, sure.
No, I'm teasing you. Russ Williams, retired.
Damn, dude. Losers. Alex Trebek never had trouble getting laid. You losers. I want to hear him
It's
say
really
that again.
catchy and fun.
Losers, in other words.
Well,
What do these people
things they
do?
love, video. It's people who identify as nerdy, rapping about the things they love.
They
video
rap?
games, science
Oh,
fiction,
no.
having a hard time meeting romantic partners, you know. It's really catchy and fun.
Catchy and fun.
Losers,
Doubt
in
it.
other words.
Well,
Losers. Alex Trebek, rest in peace. Losers, you mean? That is honestly great. Gosh. Losers, you mean? So casual about it. There we go. My hair's going a little wild today. Okay. Let's get down to business to destroy the Minks. Yo, Hulkbuster, get down here, fool. It's time to do a wrap-up. I got my accountability buddy here. So let's pull up. Where is the folder? This is the Super Neat Podcast, the only podcast on the internet, brought to you by AHA Sparkling Water. What's your AHA moment? As I stall, because I can't find where I saved it. That's just an empty folder. Come on, baby, come on. Yes! What a dream! We found it. Okay, guys. So, let's see if this will let me. There it is. I can't believe it. Okay. This was our schedule last week, everybody. We did pretty good. Not terrible. Not great. I wouldn't give it a hundo because we didn't do it 100%. That's my bad. Obs. 'Cause I'm super neat. So, Did pretty good. I have a super neat news transition. I forgot. We did that. Oh, man, we forgot to do it. Son of a bitch. We're adding it right now. Oh, my gosh. We're going to make a whole new scene for it. News. Oh, man. You're watching the Super Neat News. Live, breaking, partial, partially true. Now, it's the Super Neat News. Pretty great. Huh? I've got a bunch of transitions and stuff too, man. I just got to figure out how to use them. I watched 𝓵𝓸𝓿𝓮's stream the other day. If you guys don't follow him, you very much should. He is extremely good at entertaining and at the whole technicality of streaming. It is phenomenal. I highly recommend you watch his stream because he's really good, man. Really good. And he does some wild shit. And I want to learn how to do that. Very impressive. I can do the After Effects stuff, but I don't know how the hell he's doing that shit live. You're watching the Super Neat, because that is sick. AF, I think, personally. You're watching the Super Neat News. And I keep delaying buying the Stream Deck, but I think I'm just going to do it. Just is one of those things that's hard to justify for work, but I think I could. I mean, you guys are paying me. We're gonna do it. Simp, it says. Simp. I'm a simp for who? I'm down to simp, man. Listen, don't hate the simp, hate the game, man. The simps know what's up. Maybe. Do simps get laid in the traditional lore of simping? They call me big simp. Can someone answer me in chat? Do simps get laid? Or do they just simp and then that's it? Because, I could be convinced. All right. Super neat news. So we did that. I actually have a bunch of transitions. I'll add them in later. They're very cool. The super neat news thing was well worth it. Combustion class action. Guys, I literally just closed the project. I did not get it done. I had to do real work that day. So that sucks, but it's mostly done. I just have to do the voiceover. But it's looking really great, I think. I personally think it's going to be great. So I'm going to try and finish it tonight. I would also like to set up the green screen on that wall and do just the do one of these. Because some of the lawyers do it in the class action videos. Oh, I guess I have fucking this asshole Carmen down here. I could just steal him, but I'd like to do it again, but with the lawyer suit. That would be great. So we have that. I'm gonna try and get that out. Gamer Boy stream. We did a stream. Technically, it was rough. Could have been better. I'm learning about the art of scripting streams. I have watched some stuff on that. So streams are going to get better and they're going to get more frequent. We'll try it again Wednesday. I was just so tired. It was rough. We might also... Simps do not get laid. I ain't no simp. I don't really get laid, though, so that's fair. So we're going to do another stream this week, but we're going to do a.m. stream. We might do it tomorrow. If you guys are into that, let me know. I'll blast it out on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter and on whatever the hell this is on Twitch, and you'll get an alert. But I think I'm going to do it in the mornings or in the early afternoon because I have some time then. And late night, I'm usually burnt out and I'm just playing SCO poorly. So I think we might do that. I think that would be fun. We may do that tomorrow. 𝓵𝓮 review on the tube. Guys, I did post something on YouTube. It was the cocktail. It's doing all right. Not great, but not bad. But that's the first YouTube content I've put out in a long time. And that's my bad. I've just been posting to Patreon. Shout out to the Patreons, to the patrons. You guys are phenomenal. I love you people. Thank you. And I see you out there. But I've been basically just generating content for Patreon and then never going to YouTube. But that defeats the porpoise, the minks. They need the YouTube content. So my big goal this week, is to basically clean up all of that Patreon content, the stuff that's worthwhile, and start shipping it out to YouTube. Because that's where the masses are, all 80 of my subscribers. So I am going to start posting maybe once or twice a week of just stuff that I have backlogged. I've got quite a bit, so that will be nice. Including the 𝓵𝓮 review. I don't know why I didn't upload it. I think I wanted to do some B-roll changes, and I just didn't get around to it. But that's why I have the schedule. I got to be, it's helping. We're getting closer to full output. Not there yet. The cocktail's out there. Big shout out if you guys watched it. Like, comment, subscribe. That shit's supposed to help the algorithm, but I don't know if I'm ever going to make the fucking algorithm because I just needed to be a total fuckboy to do that. It's mega simp. But we'll see. We're working on it. The t-shirt order did not get in contact with Homeboy. It is what it is. It's coming. I got the money ready, man, as soon as he takes my order. I think he's busy as fuck, though, it is what it is. Super neat podcast. We're doing it now. That's it. All right, so let's check out. So what we need to do is I need to put out the 𝓵𝓮 review. That will probably be out tomorrow. We are going to do another stream. And we need to get Combustion all out. Damn, man, sure. And the t-shirt. Man, we fucked it up. I mean, I feel like we got more done for some reason. I did get a political meme out. Pretty proud of that. I thought the political meme was not bad. Here, we're going to watch it live. And we'll do
Bye-bye.
We did it. We did it, Joe.
You're fired.
Ta-da! That was a bonus, all right? So I account... That took me actually like a few hours. I animated all of that like in Premiere. It's a bad way to do it. And if I would have known it was going to turn into that, I would have started out in After Effects. But it is what it is. Shout out. Hudson Fu says the trumpet makes up for anything I might have missed. I appreciate that. It took some time. And it's out there. I might put it on YouTube just for the shit of it, just because it's content. Otherwise, it's just kind of out there on Twitter and Instagram. I never know what qualifies as YouTube content and what doesn't. But I usually just default to not doing it because I'm a lazy piece of trash. But we're working on it. So we're going to be spamming the YouTube. Ring that bell if you want to be alerted, because I'm just going to put everything out there. It's so fucking inconsistent anyway. It's not going to damage the reputation if I just spam it with a bunch of like 2-second videos. We might even put this super neat news on. You're watching the super neat news. Live, breaking, partially true. I'm a fan of it. I made it. I don't know why it resonates with me. All right. And that is basically it. So now it's time for a guess. Who's going to be the guest, man? I see fans here, my beautiful, lovely supporters in the Discord, and yet no one's coming down into the podcast duo section. One of you fools come down here. Let's chop it up for a bit. Is that what the kids say? I think I've heard that before. It is 7:38 super neat time. 41% room humidity. The humidity is climbing, and it is 25 degrees Celsius here at the Super Neat Podcast. Oh, we have a guest. Yes. It is Captain Jackbox. This is Captain Nihilism. What up? I can't hear you.
Am I speaking yet?
Oh, there he is. Okay, wait.
If I wasn't speaking, you wouldn't hear me.
Okay, that's fair. Wait 1 second. I'm going to refresh on my AHA sparkling water. What's your AHA moment?
Honestly, getting with K-Chap's dad was.
Hell yeah, that's a hell of an
He
AHA
left to get
moment.
cigarettes, but then he came over to my house. He's been there.
For 7 years.
Yeah, I mean, he leaves and comes back. Not like when he leaves Kevin's house.
He never comes back.
Not that Kevin has anything to... I don't know where I got that name.
Hold on, I got to get a new AHA. Just hold that.
I just had an aha moment. Oh. Classic. I guess I'm supposed to just I'm supposed to entertain you guys while
Okay, guys.
he's gone. Is that the way this show works?
What'd you
Do you
say?
leave for an indiscriminate amount of time and then your guest is supposed to sing and dance?
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. Well, I can do that.
Okay,
I know how to
guys.
sing and dance.
We got the AHA sparkling water. Now we're going to set up the guest cam. First we do this, and then we do this. And then we do this. See, this is why it would be really great to have a... boom! A Stream Deck, because I can script this so that it happens auto-magically.
Yeah.
Something
You could just press a button and then my face would be there.
that would be really great. Oh, look. It looks like I did something similar of this. We're working on it. I think I want to spend one day this week fixing my... Yeah, because look at this. Look at my dumb ass. Fixing all of my stream stuff. Because I
think the podcast is getting better, over time at a rate at which, let's say, and this is hypothetical, and let's hope that this doesn't happen. Let's say that one day it wasn't the only podcast on the internet. I think that if you keep improving it like this, even if there is another one at some point, they're not going to be able to catch up with you because of the quality just improving all the time. By the time they think of it, we can make the second one on the internet, it'll be too late. I think.
I'll have surpassed. I'll be so far ahead of the game.
They couldn't possibly catch up with you.
That's fair. Okay.
Yeah.
It is, I think the podcast somehow, I think technically it's getting better. Sometimes content-wise it's getting worse. But we're making progress every week, and that is what matters. And we iterate live, which is a lot of fun. And so we're 12 weeks into it. I should have a better system for getting guests on here, but it's not bad. All right? Now we just
when you say it like that, I think that from your perspective, that was supposed to be like a long... 12 weeks is not that much time.
Seems like a lot of time. 12,
Well,
that's 3 months.
Well, in the total lifetime of a podcast.
Oh, that's
not that there's any ones that aren't this, but I'm just thinking like broadly. If I'm trying to imagine how long a podcast, the only podcast on the internet, could be, and relative to that, the first 12, like if 300 episodes from now, people are like, yeah, the first 20 episodes, he was still trying to get his feet off the, like, that'd be really good as far as podcasts go. Because I'm fans of some podcasts where, I mean, not that I could be a fan of if it existed, I could be a fan of one that the first like 200 episodes are like not worth it.
Whoa.
So I mean, yeah, if you get that's the way you kill a fruit fly. What was I saying?
All right, I like that logic.
Yeah,
we're only 12 episodes in. The next 12 episodes are going to be even better. I hope. I mean, we're going to do our best.
I don't know what you wanted to talk about with your guest, but I have a bone to pick.
Sure, let's pick it.
I wish I had a specific example, because that would sure make it a much better topic for me to speak about. But I don't off the top of my head. Maybe you do. Have you noticed that celebrities are like ludicrously bad at making online content? Like when they try to do something on YouTube or something, the quality is like, I don't understand. Like,
yeah,
you're an A-list actor. You can't afford a webcam that isn't from 2007.
No, it's always like an echo hell
It's
chamber.
weird.
And now surely
it's weird how bad they are at
or
it.
at least like,
and also like
advice.
They have a person. You're fucking.
Yeah, I watched Jon Stewart on a internet show that's similar to my podcast, but it's not a podcast. Because I have the only one on the internet.
Well, I mean, it couldn't be because it's the only one on the internet.
And he was remote, and I couldn't finish it. And I love Jon Stewart. I couldn't finish it because the audio was so bad, the camera was even worse. And I was thinking, did someone not give you a rundown? And it's like, listen, these lights cost nothing. These are so cheap. And I don't even have stands for them. I just set them on the desk and aim them at the wall.
Yeah, but your stuff looks way better than some bullshit content I've seen from like people with, 100 times your resources.
Yeah, why?
I don't understand it.
No, it's not, and it's not like it's a, like a mysterious void of, like how do they get it to work? It's like everywhere on YouTube. You can literally buy if you had like $200, you could buy the Elgato ring light and this webcam that I have, and you would be 90% there. And then just a decent. People just buy a decent mic. They're like $30 on Amazon.
It's great. Like you can. I imagine that these people out in like Hollyweird, there's someone around that they can hire to make their shit look not like the worst thing I've ever seen on YouTube. You have to imagine there's somebody in Hollyweird who has technical skills as far as producing entertainment and could help them with it. Like there's not like there's 20 million, 20-year-olds with like 5 times their tech experience.
A grandkid or something. No, I don't. No, it's clearly it's an issue with motivation because they just don't give a shit. And I think maybe they're used to the studio process or whatever it is, where like light and sound and hair and makeup is like
right,
in.
And they don't have to because it's not that they're not the ones who has to.
They're like, no, I don't really do that part. And then they just
so maybe they've never wondered like where those people come from. I really shitting on A-list celebrities right now. Well, I mean, if you're gonna shit on somebody,
dude, it's
punch
bad,
up, man.
It is bad. No, I agree. Even on like the big popular late night shows when I think they're doing them. I don't know. I really don't pay attention, but I saw
certainly at the beginning of COVID when they started doing their little home things. Some of them were like laughably, but like I don't understand. Someone should have been on point on those things, and they were not. Like some of them were really, really bad.
Hudson says that
except for Conan,
be nothing without people's
Conan.
Amazing support team. I agree. Conan
absolutely, that's true.
Great. Yeah, man. It shows you how much. I mean, maybe that's their their craft is the personality, you know, and how they do all that blah blah blah, all that bullshit. But God, it does show you like 2 weeks into a pandemic, they're like the celebrities start to crumble. Like I hope they had a big backlog of cash because, yeah, if you put a general A-list celebrity against your run-of-the-mill low-grade YouTuber, the YouTubers just stomp in the ability to self-produce. It's like,
well, yeah, and
insane.
part of it also is that those low-level quote-unquote YouTubers are actually steeped in the culture they're trying to like have a voice in that moment. Whereas the A-list celebrities have, when they appear to have some like connection to, you know, the young people, quote unquote, that's all a facade created by like the 5 people who are hired by whatever, you know, production company to make them seem likable to the young people. You know, like that's not real. So when they have to do it by themselves,
they're like,
it's like they don't have any idea what the fuck they're doing.
No, man, that's I like occasionally when me and Elliot some people we talked about how the Gen Zers will pick a celebrity, particularly on Instagram or Twitter, and then just start a joke and they're relentless and they come in waves, and they started calling Dr. Phil daddy.
Yeah, I remember that one. That was good. And
what you cannot do is address them point blank like your daddy. Like you can't say and this is what he did. This is hilarious. He's like, please don't call me daddy. He's like,
y'all are got to call calling me daddy.
I'm not your daddy. And then immediately
that's
like,
gonna stop him.
Game over. And now if you go to anywhere you see Dr. Phil, anywhere on the internet, there will be at least 1,000, and that's like, I'm not exaggerating, at least 1,000 comments that just say daddy with hard eyes. And that's the tamest, and it gets all the way.
Well, and like
now
that's
kind of
a no-brainer to us that you can't, if someone's talking shit, like if someone's like irritating you, the worst thing you can do is tell them not to.
No, address them point blank. No, and
you're basically cutting off the Hydra's head by doing that. That didn't work out for Hercules.
Yeah, if you have any star topical,
he had to drop a boulder on him. Yeah, that's topical.
If you have any stardom, you don't do it because they are going to roast you. But then the counter is Dr. Phil has kind of leaned into it. And he like does TikToks now, and I'm sure he has a team help him because he's just so old. But he did like the Fleetwood Mac cranberry juice, you know, in his little golf cart.
Yeah.
And I was like, look at that, Dr. Phil. Like that is not a bad TikTok. That's not a bad.
He probably had his like great grandchildren helping him with that.
great granddaughter. So set it up, but I was
9 years old, and she knew what was going on the TikTok.
So it's some celebrities get it, like Dr. Phil. Good work, and for until the day he dies, and probably afterwards, people will be referring to him as daddy because if he just hadn't said nothing, people would have got bored of it.
If you're watching this in like 2040, look up the pictures of Dr. Phil's grave where it just has daddy and like little tchotchkes and like foam hearts and stuff and all sorts of little offerings to say daddy on them.
Daddy. But all that to say is it's part of the new culture that we live in, this new internet culture where you need to be aware of the constant swirl, the ether, because if you're not, you better keep your fucking mouth shut because the Gen Zers will get you. And then you also look like an idiot. And I think that's one thing about celebrities nowadays, especially big ones, is I don't think they care if they look like an idiot, and I don't think they understand the weight of it. You know, like if they were doing that to a YouTuber or something, that could spin up or shut down that person's career permanently.
Yeah,
if they leveraged it. But
if you look historically in the rise of a lot of YouTubers, there have been moments where they reacted well or poorly to something to do with their base, and I mean, it really can be like a huge boost or a death sentence in the new media, as they say.
Oh yeah, the new media. Jeez, that sounds propagandist. Yeah, it's I wonder how long the current status of celebrities will exist. Like the blending of A-list and then B-list and then C-list and then like YouTube personalities and like
Yeah,
I wonder
I've been
if
thinking about that a lot too.
be
It's
destroyed.
because it's starting to be less black and white, because it is about like who they are in A-list to. Like, there are people that are A-list as far as the old media is concerned because they're
The
A-list
boomers.
according to 50 plus who gives a fuck about them. But you ask someone 30 or below, and we could fucking give a shit about that guy. So is that A-list?
Yeah, like
Because I mean, we're going to
Tom
outnumber them at
Cruise.
some point.
Tom Cruise is the perfect example of someone.
Sure,
He's still
yeah.
pumping
Who
stuff
gives a
out.
shit about Tom Cruise?
He pumps out a movie like every 6 months. He has his own production.
I shouldn't say
company
that.
now.
He'll actually send some like Scientology agent
Yeah, he
to
might
cut
get
off
you.
my head or something.
But there is a time like coming soon where Tom Cruise is not like, and it may even be right now, like there is a whole generation of people that don't really know Tom Cruise as, and I'm sure we may be like the last generation that knows Tom Cruise as like a A-list top tier global celebrity action star,
Mhm.
But like he's not that anymore. But when do you get stripped of your A-list?
If I'm being honest, it's been a while that someone has mentioned Tom Cruise, and I haven't thought of him first as the head of Scientology and not as an A-list actor. Like, that's the first thing that comes to mind when someone mentions
he's that Scientology
him, is that he's
wacko.
the head of Scientology.
Is he the head? Is that a real thing?
Yeah, he's the top guy in Scientology. Okay, except that they don't admit that Hubbard is dead. So, like, he's actually
What?
the top, except that he's fucking dead. Yeah, you don't know that? They don't. He's according to Scientologists, L. Ron Hubbard is still
L. Ron
alive.
Hubbard's still alive.
Yeah, he has enough like godlike status that
photons?
he's not. He's got too much spiritual energy to die. But if we're talking about the people that are actually alive, Tom Cruise is at the head of Scientology, absolutely.
Whoa!
And
I
here's a
didn't
little
know
bit.
that.
Here's a little bit of trivia. According to Scientology, like their tenets, Travolta can kill a person, and according to Scientology,
Hell
like
yeah!
but he has the right to do that. Like, nobody, like, if you were a Scientologist and you saw Travolta murder someone and then you called the cops, you would get in serious trouble with the church because he's allowed to do that. Like, he's at a high enough level of photons
Whoa!
with the Zoglodrite cells or whatever that he can do that. Now, he's like 2 rungs below Tom Cruise. So imagine what the fuck Tom Cruise is allowed to do according to Scientology. Like, that's not. I worry about what he's getting up to behind the scenes. I'm just kidding, by the way, Tom Cruise. If you see this, like, you're like my dude, and don't send anyone to murder. I wouldn't want that.
I am fascinated by the level of stardom and wealth that you have to get to, because like there's a lot of religions. A lot of them go way back. This one is relatively new. He was a science fiction writer, and then he decided to write this.
Decided it was real.
He pretended it was real. And so it seems like, from an outsider with some distance, it seems so surreal and stupid. You're like, of course, this is bullshit. But what happens when you get to that level of distancing yourselves from the normal humans, of just even normal people in the United States, where you're so desensitized, you have so much money and wealth and status that you're like, okay, I'm gonna join this whack shack religion, and then you're in it. Like John Travolta and Tom Cruise, those are huge celebrities. What happened? How did it happen? That's what I want to know, is the transition. Like, they showed up, one of their other celebrity buddies was like, hey, you got to try this. And then they hook him up to the E-meter or whatever. And
yeah, I don't know.
How do you get there?
I think it actually kind of makes sense because we hear this stuff about like celebrity, like people talk about, oh, everything, it seems like it's so great for them being famous and everyone loves them, blah blah blah, but it's really hard for them because paparazzi and they have no privacy and whatever. Like I could give a shit about that's what you signed up for, so like stop whining, you got $100 million.
Part of the side effects of
I think that it actually makes sense though that a religion that essentially says the more money you can give us, the more spiritually intact you're going to be. I think it's probably pretty enticing for people like that they can just pay a relatively small amount of their enormous wealth and they're going to suddenly be happy. Like that's the way that any other religion gets it done in a lot of ways, is like giving the people what the comfort that they, that's the way Christianity works, is just like giving people the comfort that some people desperately seem to need. There's something that there's a hole that they need to fill. People fill it with all sorts of stuff, and it's religion for some people. And I think Scientology gives people with a huge amount of money and a low amount of happiness the illusion of getting to like buy that spirituality pretty simply with just, a lot of wealth that they're not going to run out of anyway. So why not?
Yeah, maybe there's an allure to like, you remember like the old days of Catholicism when you could like buy, what was it called? When you could buy sins and then auto repent, what was that called?
Yeah, right. I don't remember what
luxury or
I'm not an expert on Catholicism.
It was called
but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so basically you give the church money and you could sin ahead of time. Like you buy it up and you're like, okay, we're good. And that probably was extremely popular for however long it existed. But when you hit a certain level of wealth, like to be able to buy your way into like potentially murder, you're like,
yeah, there's
a level where if you were looking at all the religions lined up and you're like, yeah, I could buy my way to the top of like, I could donate a lot of money to Christianity and the return is not that high. But if I buy my way into Scientology, like there's a huge payoff.
Much higher return.
Maybe they're like, this is more up, this is more up my alley. I can.
And you don't have to worry about Tom Cruise killing you if you buy into it.
Wait, Scientologists can't murder other Scientologists?
Well, I don't think that he would be. He's less inclined certainly to kill a fellow Scientologist than some other person he doesn't care about.
Maybe if someone was climbing on his rank, man, he might.
I don't think there's any chance of that at this point, man. He really is like the top dog.
That's crazy, man. I wonder what it's like. I'm constantly fascinated by the transitions of people getting into like people becoming like modern terrorists and stuff. It's the same kind of thing. It's like you have, or like any sort of cult group, you have to like gradually.
I'm fascinated with that too, and it really, like I was saying earlier, it has so much to do with like the specific shape of the hole they're trying to fill. I think in a lot of cases, and like someone tells them, "I can fill that easy peasy." You just got to do whatever I say forever. And for some people, they're in a place in their life where that is a pretty reasonable trade, to give up their freedom and identity for finally not being miserable. Some people need that. Apparently,
I wonder how Tom Cruise feels every day. I wonder if he feels good. I'm sure he's having fun. He's out there making
the way he feels
these days are bad.
Is close enough to our consciousness at this point that like we can even imagine the way that he feels when he is so far removed from average shows like you and me.
I wonder. I'm sure it was a ton of fun when he was young in the 80s, man, doing these movies, and he was just like beginning that rush of stardom. But I watched I was at Planet Fitness, and someone on the treadmill in front of me left a generic new Tom Cruise movie, where he looks like old, but he's still like an action hero, he's still like, and
are you talking about like on the screen on the
like
thing?
Like on a treadmill. And
okay, because you said that they left an old Tom Cruise, and I thought they just
put
had
a DVD in.
And they were like, "This is going to help somebody. Here's Mission Impossible 1."
Someone left it on. My first thing I do when I get on a treadmill is I turn the fucking TV off. But they had it on, and so
I like
was,
HGTV at Planet Fitness.
oh,
That
what,
doesn't
people
really pertain to your story, so
Oh, maybe I'll try it one day.
I do
just
like it, though.
turned it off. So they were watching this Tom Cruise movie, and I got sucked in and it's like at a distance on a terrible Planet Fitness screen. You know, it was rough, but they did all of these sequences, and you could get the feel of, especially a shitty movie, you understand like, oh, okay, this is what they're trying to do. And he was trying to get on a flight, and so they do a scene where that shows him outside of the airport, and he obviously needs like a driver's license, so he like bumps into this guy to get like his wallet, and then blah blah blah, and that whole sequence leads up to them being on a plane, and it looked so bad. So it was all green screen. I don't think they did it. I don't think they had a real set once. All of it was green screen except for maybe the plane, and I think they just had like a little cutout of a plane somewhere in a studio. And he looked really rough, and with no music, and it's the flaws particularly shine through, you know, like no music or sound effects, whatever. You just watching it happen. And I can't imagine him doing that. And it's his production company, so he's part of the story. Like, he has some approval over lines and dialogue and plot. And it just looked so rough, so far away from early Mission Impossible, that I wonder, like, is he enjoying this, or is this all he knows how to do? And he refuses to let go of that persona, the action hero. He's not like being an old man. He's not like the wise old guy who like teaches the young guns. He's still the hot guy.
Oh my God. I'm about to say something that's going to connect with you on a real level.
Okay.
Is Tom Cruise the next Stallone?
Sylvester Stallone.
Because Stallone's doing that shit hardcore.
Producing
where, like,
his own.
The more power, it's like the George Lucas effect, where like at some point you have the goods, and so the fact that no one can tell you shit about what to do in your product is like a good thing. But then you start losing your stuff, and then the fact that no one is like calling you on anything is a huge problem. I think, and that's what happened to Stallone. We saw that, like, his shit is laughable now and has been for a while.
Who's the other guy? There's another internet show that talked about him. We watched a video. He's like really old, and he dyes his hair. He's like way overweight. Steven Seagal.
Oh yeah.
All these guys own their own production companies now. It's super affordable for them, and they're still making money. If you look at the turnover, it costs them like.
I'm going to correct myself. I was talking about Seagal.
Oh, okay. Stallone did it too. Stallone is in a bunch of
Stallone to a lesser degree, for sure.
A lot of trash.
But Seagal, I think, is the poster child.
Yeah, Steven Seagal. What?
Producing his own shit, and it's like ludicrously bad.
So bad. And I doubt that. So this is the thing: is like, what? Maybe you have a unique perspective here that can help me wrap my head around it. What is their goal? Like on their, like, they wake up and they have their like little, like, what I want to do. Like, is it just cash? Are they still having fun doing this? Because they look so tired, and they look so like, looks like they're showing up to work, you know? They show
certainly
up.
Certainly at a certain point it is. Like, if they're actually going to run out of, if they feel like their wealth is disappearing, then I'm sure that, but I think for more of that, at least when they're at Tom Cruise's level, like, he doesn't have to worry about his money running out. I think it's about staying relevant. That's the only, like, value that they have known for a while, is being quote unquote relevant. And like, I don't want to get into the connotations of that word and how people use it, and irrelevant. But I think that that's the only way that they, like, it's been so long since they had any other value as a human being, that's all that they know to do, is just to get themselves out into the public eye,
pump it out. And
they have no perspective left. Like, I don't think Seagal has any idea that his products are like some of the shittiest things I've ever seen, because he has no perspective. Like, they don't have any. I think that's a big part of it, is that they have just no perspective left. So they don't know, like, whether the shit is good or not. They just do their best to stay relevant.
Okay.
And usually, I mean, there's a time limit on that every single time. Like you can either die before losing your relevancy, or it's going to happen.
I'm afraid to click this link. So what I was gonna say, well, there is a time. We'll watch this. Hold on. What I was gonna say is, well, one, we're out of time here, so we'll watch this and then we'll call it.
Is that a fact? Oh wow, yeah, it is. I didn't know that we had talked that long.
But my final question, so you can see this now, right? Steven Seagal.
Yes, I can see it.
Is, do you think that they watch their movies?
I think Seagal probably I think that when it comes to a certain level of them producing their own stuff, maybe. Like Seagal produces all his own stuff at this point, right?
Yeah, he
probably watches it in the editing process at the very least.
I don't know.
But like I said, it doesn't make a difference because they have no perspective on what is good.
Yeah, they don't
not.
care. I wonder.
So,
okay, we're gonna watch.
I don't think that Tom Cruise watches it
no
any more than he would watch footage of his actual life, because I don't think that there's any divide in between the two.
No, I think he really thinks he is that. I think he thinks he's like an action hero.
Yeah.
Okay, here, let's watch Steven Seagal
Well,
giving carrots and
people
water.
through Scientology.
Belarus.
It's very good for health.
The whole look, man. Everyone's dressed like totally normal. He's like in a gi.
What am I looking at? What is?
Dude, his hair.
Yeah,
is
his look.
jet
His
black.
look is so crazy.
Nice.
Seagal has that thing like it's the craziest version of you know how Ricky Gervais only wears like he just has like 20 black V-necks and that's what he wears.
Yeah.
But Seagal has the craziest version, which is that dude. That's all he wears.
This is the whole clip on Euro News.
What in?
That's the whole thing. There's no no voiceover, no explanation. Let's hold on. We're gonna read this. American actor Steven Seagal visited Belarus. President Alexander Lukashenko at his official residence in Minsk. Hey, I heard they got the Corolla.
Wait. Was one of those people the president?
That's the president.
What?
He received a warm welcome, and he treated him to homegrown carrots and watermelons and invited him to dinner.
Oh my god.
That's the story.
That is fantastic. I love that.
What the fuck?
That's fantastic. See, here's the thing.
What is going on?
The reason that these A-listers can't create the content that we need is that this is the content that we want. And they could never get that in a million years. They don't know that we want a washed up actor to go see like the shittiest president in the like smallest place and get some produce from them. Like, how could they guess?
I would love a really underproduced Steven Seagal travel show where it's like him just doing stuff.
Man.
And it's not like really well done, you know? So because that's the problem about an overproduced anything is that they cover all of the cracks and the seams too well.
Just let him produce it.
Just like
that's perfect. That'd be perfect.
It's kind of like this is the last thing, and then we got to wrap it up. Who's the guy? Who's the? I did not hit her. I did not. You're my favorite customer.
Room. Tommy Wiseau.
Tommy Wiseau. So he has like a bunch of shows and stuff on YouTube, and there was one of them is he plays games. He's a gamer.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. It's fantastic.
I can't wrap my head around like does he know? And I just don't think I think he surrounds himself with people that understand how to capitalize and how to like create content that's like
more than that. I think that Tommy Wiseau has had to construct such a complicated facade around his perspective so that he can believe that people think his stuff is good. That when you construct that kind of facade around your perspective, I can't imagine what the world looks like to you. Like, that's a very complicated thing he's built for himself.
Yeah, because
so that he can perceive people's reactions to his work as being like, they're really into it. The Room is a great film.
It's I don't know. I wonder what kind of warped perspective he has, because it's very, as the kids call it, cringe. It's very cringe.
Kids do say that, Joe. Good job.
I'm learning.
God, you are really... The podcast is going to be huge with the Zoomers. They're going to love it.
It's very cringe.
Get some Fortnite dances up in here.
And,
I can floss. You want me to floss?
Yeah, we got to end the podcast. We're 13 minutes over. I thank you very much for being my guest this week.
You got it, bud.
I thoroughly enjoyed this conversation. I actually want to put a pin in this. I'd like to come back to this. I like discussing how people get warped perspectives. I think it's because we all...
And it's not just the A-listers and people like that, or B or C or D-listers.
It's everybody.
People all over the world in every walk of life construct careful facades around their perspective, and it's fascinating to me.
We all live in it's all a construct.
Yeah,
what we'll do at the end is we're going to play some hip tunes, copyright free, and we're going to floss for the kids.
I'm definitely going to join you. I'm going to floss just like you're going to.
Here it goes, guys. What do we want to bump? Here, we'll go hype.
Oh no, my video.
You son of a bitch.
My video is vanished. I'm having some technical difficulties here.
Sons of bitches. Leave me hanging out to dry.
I'm trying to get it to work. I'm gonna try to get it back up and running by the time the podcast.
I already know.
Sure.
Okay, here we go. We'll wait for the beat to drop. I think this is actually like... Oh, here, we're getting there. Thank you, everybody, for joining the Super Neat Podcast, the only podcast on the internet. What a great episode. Thank you, Captain Nihilism. See you guys later. You're watching the Super Neat.
Oh man, we did it.
My name is David Guetta. This is to end all racism. You guys know what clip I'm talking about?
Talking about that French DJ?
Yep.
Yeah. He did too. He totally ended it with his splicing. Drops ended it. Splicing and the bringing up the bass.
Oh, that poor guy. Again, so out of touch. All right, we're not gonna let this whole song play. We're almost done. We are gonna let it play. Thanks again, everybody. What a great show. The only podcast on the internet.